Okay, back again. And I'm actually going to, now that we've seen the final boss, I'm going to take this teleporter and go to the hub world. And we'll enter from there from now on. As you can see, the whoa, ugh, teleporter is active. And I actually just want to say a couple of quick things before I kind of get into the boss. I've talked quite a lot about the time constraints I've got with the stupid recording at the moment. And as irritating as that was going through the main game, I could get round it. For the final boss, which as you've seen is Solgren, it's a big problem. This boss goes on for a long time. Coupled with that, I've also got to get the credit sequence in, and trying to do that while worrying about a time limit is very problematic. So what I might actually have to do here is, and it's probably a good thing anyway that I'm not just constantly uploading fight after fight after fight, because this seriously could take me ages. As I glance up to the top of the left hand side of the screen and see 934 deaths, I think I'm well on track to beat my previous record. I'm ecstatic with that number of deaths through the main part of the main part of the game up to the final boss. If some of you can do it better than that, bravo! Very well done. I certainly don't claim to be an expert at this game or anything, but for me, I'm very happy with that total number of deaths. But yeah, going back to the recording problem, the boss and the credits alone will take me over my time limit. So probably not so that I don't just keep uploading the same thing over and over again, because after a while I'm just going to have nothing to talk about. What I may do is, after I've perhaps beaten the first phase of the boss, spoiler alert, there are 3 phases, maybe beaten the first phase of the boss 5 times, I might start starting the video and cutting the video and starting recording at the start of the second phase. And likewise with the second phase, once I've done that maybe 5 times or so, I'll stop for showing that part of the fight and start the recording again at the start of the third phase, just to avoid, I'll say, posting lots of rubbish where it might be going back and forth over and over again, because this seriously could take me a long time. And I've just run out of things to say after a while. But also because of the time limit, I don't think I'm going to have time to record all 3 phases of the boss and the credits. But I think I should have enough time to record the final phase and the credits. And I'd like to be able to do that. So the only other way I could think to get around it was to record the entirety of the fight. But then in the time it would take me to cut the video, save it, the credits would keep rolling. So to actually get the credits, I'd have to do the final boss a second time. And I don't particularly want to do that. So yeah, I figure probably best all round if after I got to the third phase a certain number of times, that from then on, or beaten the second phase a certain number of times, from then on I'll start the fight at the third phase, just so that gives me enough time to show the final boss being defeated. He says with fingers crossed, hopefully, hopefully being defeated, and also have enough time to be able to show the credits. So funnily enough, whilst the time limit is quite irritating in that respect, it probably actually means that, yeah, I almost have to do it this way, so that I almost actually have a reason not to kind of upload the entirety of the boss and me going back and forth, because that's just going to get boring after a while. So amazingly enough, the time limit somewhat is a help here, in that it actually made me think about what I was going to do for the final boss. So yeah, this has been a bit of a kind of a rambling speech to start the video. So yeah, with the rambling speech over, from now on, or starting at the next video, we will start our attempt to finally become the Boshy and defeat Solgren. Back shortly. Well everyone, I did it again. I failed to play a CD. Very quickly, because I don't want to take up too much time before delving into the actual gameplay. So this is a CD from World 11. I won't play too much of it. It's the introduction to Careless Whisper by George Michael. So there it is. Moving on, let's start the final boss proper. And this time we'll skip the introduction and just kind of head in. I'm sure I'm going to die over and over and over again, so I'll maybe try and explain a few of the phases of the boss as I'm kind of going along. Not paying attention there. These kind of shots, just to kind of, well, once you kind of know where they're coming, they're easy enough to dodge. The next thing is water towers that come down from the sky. There are two ways to dodge those. You can start, as I'm doing here, kind of start off on the right. Well, you can try and dodge them. Start off on the right-hand side of the platform and and move to the left. So this is what I'm doing. It's the far safer option. The other way you can do that is to kind of stand. I'm doing that bit quite terribly. Stand on the left-hand side of the platform and kind of move to the right. That kind of strategy enables you to get probably quite a few more hits in, but for some reason I've never been able to successfully kind of, or with any degree of success, continual success, able to dodge that. So I kind of much prefer standing on the right-hand side and moving to the left. And yay! And we're already into this part. Let's just see how this goes for a moment. Wow, he wanted to be quite nice. That was the first phase done amazingly quickly. Didn't expect to do the first phase that quickly. And well, I'll talk about maybe the other parts of the first phase when we get back to it. But for now, welcome to Lagopolis. Yeah, this is the second phase, and for some reason, it is ridiculously slow on my laptop. This probably goes at about a quarter or a third of the speed, maybe, at which it should. So it's really quite irritating. I don't find the lag particularly helpful there. And yeah, well, lag there certainly didn't help either. Yeah, the second phase just well, it's just ridiculously slow. That was awful. Yeah, it doesn't make it unplayable, but it's pretty bad. But yeah, well, we got to the second phase pretty quickly. So back to the first phase. After the water tower is a kind of a giant salamander, which we have to kind of dodge. The way to dodge it is to stand over on the left-hand side of the platform and kind of jump away from it. That wasn't nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, and kind of double jump away from it, obviously landing back on the platform. There's nowhere really else to stand in order to dodge this attack. It's coming now. Doing that seems to be about the only way to do it. He then kind of shoots these fire wave bullets, which at the moment it seems to be the thing I'm dying on the most. But it's not terribly bad. And I've seen people do that, or try to dodge this move in really quite complicated manners. Sometimes at this point, kind of double jumping up to the left. But I find if you stand on the edge of that platform there on the left-hand side, and just kind of time some jumps nicely, you can dodge that pretty straightforwardly. What comes after that? Oh yes, see, kind of. That's the moment at which you can't or can no longer really hit him for a while. He kind of glows off to the sky and starts dropping more fire and raisins, perhaps. I don't quite know exactly 100% what they're called or what they are, but yeah, this attack's not too terribly bad, apart from maybe one raisin that I really do not want to bounce particularly high. Other than that, it's not too bad. Let's just see what happens there, and I probably won't bother pointing them out too much because this fight is going to be absolutely littered with them, but this is probably a decent time for a cut in the video. So yeah, picking up where I was in the sequence of what happens in this boss. Yeah, after the raisin, grain attack, or whatever, Sonic's back, and as much as I like like the first fight now, or back in World 5, the Sonic fight, that's not to say that I wanted him to show up in this fight. But once you kind of know where to manipulate him, he's not absolutely awful. And that little section where Sonic appears, there are numerous ways in which you could actually fight that. It's really up to you to kind of probably find your own kind of pattern, etc., to get through that. The one I've kind of stumbled on here is kind of moving a bit to the left, faking him out by double jumping to the right, double jumping again to the left, and then kind of sweeping up through the fire. It's certainly by no means foolproof. You will probably get hit numerous times in trying to do it. It is quite tricky to pull off. But because Sonic kind of follows you around, say you can pretty much lead him to wherever you want him to go. So yeah, kind of you can find your kind of own pattern to kind of get through that. If you try almost to try and copy someone else's, chances are you probably won't get the timings right or anything. So yeah, it can be done a number of different ways. There is no right. Oh, whoops, that wasn't very good. Right or wrong way to do this bit. It's a giant pain, but yeah. And whoops. That was a cheap death. And yeah, once Sonic's finished flying around, ruining our day, we have reappearing, disappearing Solgrim. He will spawn 6 times on the screen without much warning. First time is the first time he will always appear in the same place. He will appear sort of dead in the middle, above the platform. Here we go. But high enough up so that the fire waves he throws are dodgeable. After that, he will spawn 5 more times in completely random positions. And if he chooses to spawn on top of the platform like that, then you'll do very well to dodge it, which somehow I managed. If he's kind of up in the sky or to the immediate extreme edges of the screen, he's not too bad. But yeah, if he decides to spawn, in the middle, pretty close to the platform, or indeed right in the middle of the platform, then you'll do very well to dodge it. Back to the city of lag, which is lagging even more than usual, if that is actually possible, and completely ruined my jump. Yeah, if you could not lag quite so much, that would be good. I'm expecting you to lag somewhat, but that was just ridiculous. My timing was just completely shot all over the place there. And yeah, there wasn't really much I could do about that, I don't think. So as I said, probably due to the sort of time reasons, I will probably start cutting out some of this fight as we go on. I have now beaten, if you're obviously keeping track, the first phase twice. So maybe after maybe after I've beaten the first phase, I say 5 times, I'll start to skip out the first phase. But I'll continue to leave it in for now, and that's probably coming up to a video. So yeah, we'll pick this up again next time.